keep watching, keep informed. There's new races, new WoW classes, new expansion. Just motherfucking tape, do it, go!
Okay, I'm sorry, boss. Jeez.
It's finally been announced what the expansion is. And it is, drumroll please! This is it. This is the Burning Legion expansion. We have waited for this for a long time. I would have said we've all wanted a really big, gritty Burning Legion expansion compared to Mr. Pandaria, Cataclysm. We wanted to really go back and just remember how it was against the Legion, because we hadn't heard much from them, and then we heard Rathian going on about it and all that. So what I'm going to do this time, I'm going to go over the basics of what happened, what's been announced, what is in the features of this expansion. Obviously, take it with a pinch of salt, because things have been changed before, they could be changed again. So, without further ado, let's begin. Here we are, we have the main part of this video, which I know everyone would love in any part of this video, of any video, is the Demon Hunter. There is a Demon Hunter class coming to World of Warcraft, and it is on its way, it is happening, it is a thing, and they look amazing. There's video footage of it, I'm going to probably show some in the background so you can see it in action, genuinely using his abilities, and just mowing down some demons like a Demon Hunter would do. What I'm going to do though is, remember at the end of this video there's going to be links to separate videos that explain this in more detail, more length. Go for it, click them if you want to know. If you don't, you just want this basic footage of it all, stay and listen and yeah. On to the next part, which is the new continent. Everyone loves a new continent. It is the Broken Isles, and this is basically a very night elfy area. It's very, since the Sundering 10,000 years ago, that's a huge lore thing to this whole place. Obviously, I'll get into it in a separate video, which will be in the links at the end. And so, this place is very Night Elf driven, very much about like the Tomb of Sargeras, all that good stuff. So we will be seeing the Tomb of Sargeras. We will be seeing the Tomb of a Titan's avatar. You know, and there's loads of stuff, and even a special little bit. Illyria and Tyrellian are still going! We're gonna see them! They're finally here! So yeah, more on that bit as we go to the next bit. Kinda. Now, there's going to be a few new zones, there's going to be quite a few actually, so what I'm going to do is I'm not really going to touch on them here, but I'm just going to say they'll be in a video. I will just make a zone specific video, I have all the information I can on it, and that will be that. But there's going to be a few, they look awesome, like Night Elf ones, Tauren ones, like really run down areas, ones that are just forgotten about and left for years, and just so much lore, thick in so much lore. So yeah, that looks awesome. But what I want to add, which is I'm really looking forward to this, because anyone from Wrath of the Lich King should love this. Daralan is our new main hub again, and I am so stoked for that, because in the new hub we'll all be together again in one big mesh of Horde and Alliance, and hopefully they don't separate it, because I think they're realising separating it really just makes the world feel dead. You're all just standing around like, well, you're right, we're Alliance and we're Horde. That's it. Whereas when you was Daralan, you're all there, middle it up, and you'd be a dwarf and you'd see a Tauren just running past. And then everyone running towards Violet Hold for their dailies. And it just should be sweet. So I'm really looking forward to it, and there's some cool stuff with the Violet Hold happening, some really weird awakening lore stuff, which should be sweet. So yeah. So, where I'm going to start this is the level cap. We are leveling capping to 110. That first bit made no sense. But that's not an issue, because the level cap does make sense. Frankly, I believe in the 10 levels. I believe in it. The 5 levels was way too short, wasn't my kind of thing. I think 10 levels really let you explore new zones. You know, there's going to be more content to go with each level. They're really going to make each level feel like you've powered up. You're really going to go for it. And I'll explain why they're going to make you feel like each level's powered up in a second. So, on to the next one. Now, in this part, they are bringing up artifact weapons. And what this is say Ashbringer, Frostmourne, all that stuff, you'll be able to use it. Not Frostmourne itself as it was shattered, but shards of Frostmourne will be put into a new blade. So you as a class will have part of Frostmourne as your weapon, and you'll have Ashbringer and all this other stuff, and there'll be loads of lore weapons, and I'm talking loads. So I'll cover this more in depth in a video myself, but what it basically is you will level up these weapons through your time leveling and just come out with this epic beast of a weapon. And it will be any weapon that is really lore centric, if that's a way of terming it. I'm awful at this. So like when Kel'Thur Sunstrider fought Arthas, he used his blade against Frostmourne and it put up a fight. Put up a hell of a fight. And so we'll be able to use that weapon. There'll be certain classes that can use that weapon, and that just sounds phenomenal to me. So there'll be a link to that, which I'm sure I'm going to enjoy the hell out of creating as a lorely kind of guy. So yeah, on to the next one. There'll be new dungeons and raids, as there always is. They're going to stick with the Warlords of Draenor raid model, and that's just that. They're going to keep with that. They like that. They think it works, and I think it worked. I think they did pretty well with Warlords of Draenor raids. I enjoyed quite a few of them. I only did Heimel on, I think, normal or heroic, and then a bit of Blackrock Foundry on normal. I'm not huge into raiding. After Siege of Orgrimmar, I did that on, I think, heroic or mythic, and I'm not too into it. But PvP, I love it. But no, they're gonna do, which is pretty interesting, the Emerald Nightmare. So we will be going in, seeing more Enzoth sort of lore, which is an old god in case anyone isn't aware, and then sort of pursuing Cenarius and chasing after Xavius sort of thing. And Xavius, I don't know if I'm pronouncing him right, but he is basically the guy behind the Emerald Dream, really. He's the issue with the Emerald Nightmare going on. And so we're going to chase him down, sort this out once for all, and then obviously see glimpses and probably hints of why the Emerald Nightmare is a nightmare and what Enzoth is doing. Why is it so dangerous? On to the next one. So they're going to be bringing in more dungeons, and now with the dungeons, they even said themselves they felt they have neglected it and left out a huge crucial part of the MMO experience, and so I'm real happy to hear this. So I think I heard there's going to be 2 dungeons per zone, I think, so there'll be loads more like old BC times. Probably not as many as BC times because that was a bit of an overkill, but just as good, and there'll be more reasons to go back, more reasons to do it, more rewards. I'm really looking forward to it. Okay, now this bit we have, which I'm personally excited for because I've kind of got into PvP a bit lately. I love my Warlock. Even the Destro is just balls to the wall crap right now in terms of like being viable for 3s, but that's beside my bitchy point. Basically, there's a new honor system coming in. Okay, so we've had about 3 honor systems. We had the first one during WoW, just when they launched all the way to BC, which was, you know, you earn honor, you get a rank, whoever's ranked the most at the end earned the most honor at the end of the week. All that stuff. We all know about it, it's not important. Then you had version 2 during BC, which lasted all the way to Warlords. That has gone on for a while. It was a good system, it's worked well, but they felt it needed a change. And so this change is version 3, where they bring in new PvP talent systems that don't affect PvE, so it'll be easier to balance. They're bringing in new abilities that only work for PvP, which I've pretty much just kind of mentioned. And then, best part for me is you can prestige. Now, anyone who's played a shooter, you can prestige. I ain't going to go more into this until I go into my own video of it. But yeah, that sounds so sweet, and there'll be all sides, like types of reward and everything. It sounds amazeballs. Now, this one's a bit weird, and I'm not sure if it's going to be in it or not, and I can imagine it is because they sound very hyped about it, and that is class orders. Now, I've never heard of this, never even heard of it hinted, dropped, or anywhere, and so basically what this is your class will have basically like a garrison, but not a garrison. So you'll go into this, like, if you're a shaman, you'll have a conclave overlooking the Maelstrom. So where all the elements come in at once, you'll be looking over that, and that'll be your area. And what will happen is you go there, and you have like a Knights of the Round Table sort of deal, so you don't have all these followers. You have a select few, the best of the best, and you will send them out on missions and stuff like that, but you'll have very few. It'll be easier to micromanage. You won't need add-ons and stuff to tell you what to do, where to go, like garrisons do. And so that will be your class orders. And now we will not be phasing into our own area. We will not be out of touch of all the players and just be our own little garrison like Warlords of Draenor really did mess the hell up. Bringing the world back to life really kind of dulled it down, weirdly enough. And so we'll be in with loads of other shamans. So what will happen is we go into this conclave, or the Lights Hope Chapel, or this conclave on the Legion Pool for Warlocks, and we'll be with our own Warlocks, we'll be with our own Paladins, and we'll all be like different players going around our own thing, but we'll all be together as a class-specific sort of area, like the Death Knights have their hold above Plaguelands. It'll be pretty cool, I think, and I'm hoping to see more come from it, and hopefully a lot more lore and really class identification, and it just should be awesome.